talk about love and marriage the way that God intended. A life experience, here we share it. The No Fruit Podcast. Tune in from any platform. No Fruit Podcast. Will help your spirit transform.
Thank you for tuning in to the No Fruit Podcast, and we're going to have a in-depth conversation for something I know that I struggle with. I'm going to be honest with you. But this gentleman, he's been doing this for over 22 years as a financial advisor. He founded his own company, Progress Solutions, LLC, to be a financial wellness coach. He is also a chartered financial consultant, and he offers personal financial coaching to help people stop the internal tug of war with their personal finances, empowering you to take charge of your money. He helps his clients achieve financial peace of mind and teach them how to win with money, and loves transforming how people deal with it so they can have a better life. He earned his Bachelor of Science in Finance, and he is a lifelong resident of New York with his wife Fiona and their 2 children. I thank you very much for tuning in today, and I don't know what else to say, Connor. Because and I'm saying that because I'm struggling with the finance. We're getting going to this holiday season or any part, birthdays, anniversaries, whatever else. So Connor, Tyson, thank you very much for coming on the show. I just need some help, Connor. I need some advice.
Okay.
How can I deal with that tug of war if I didn't know how to deal with it from a kid, or I didn't learn it in school.
You bring up a really good point there, Maurice. I mean, thank you for having me on. Basically, it's like this. They don't teach this stuff in schools.
No.
And people are trying to build a car driving down the highway.
Right.
And it's not working out too well, right? So You're not alone, either any of your listeners, right? So that internal tug of war is that struggle between what we want, what we have, what we know.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about habits and behaviors.
Mm-hmm.
I used to think it was about lack of knowledge,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like I don't know what to do or how to deal with money, but on a real gut level, everybody intuitively knows what to do with money, right? We know save, avoid debt,
right?
Yeah.
Give, invest, right? But why is it along the road we hit roadblocks and don't get what it is that we really want? It's really habits and behaviors. My habits and behaviors are not aligned with what's actually happening.
Right.
Right. And that internal tug of war is that struggle within yourself, the frustration, the guilt, shame, remorse, right? And it's like I've gone on family vacations where I've taken the vacation home with me. Right? I've paid for Christmas and I'm paying it for it in April.
Right.
I've been there,
Right.
done that,
Right.
So usually I hate the word budget. I hate it.
Yeah.
It's like broccoli. It's like soap in my mouth. Okay? But it's not what I want. Right? I don't want to be out of debt.
Right.
I don't want that. What I want is the feeling of being out of debt and what that would enable me to do.
That's good.
I don't want a budget. I want control of my money. I don't want a clarity of where it's going and why it's going there and what that would enable me to do. Right. So it's like you got to take it a couple layers deep, and it's not what you need to do. It's the why and the how of what you spoke to. And if we get really clear on our motivation of why do we want to start or change behaviors in the first place, that'll get you a lot further. Right.
Right.
So I meet with clients like, oh, you know what? Yeah, it's the same thing as it was last year. You have to put it on the credit card. Pay it off until March. And then I got the tax bill in April. And then I got summer camp for the kids.
Right.
And I got, I don't see a way out of this.
Exactly.
So let's talk about what's important to you. What's your principles and values? Right. You show me your budget, and I'll show you what's important to you.
Right.
If you have a budget at first, at all.
Right.
Right. So it's like they have, you got to have a process or a system in place to enable this stuff to happen. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a budget for a second. The B word. I call it a cash flow money plan. Let's just get a plan for our money. Money comes in, money goes out. Where should it go?
Right.
I need clarity. Number one, rip the Band-Aid off. Where's the money going? I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to look. The Oshers technique.
Right.
It's going to go away. It doesn't go away. needs and wants. What's a need? Food, shelter, utilities, medicine, transportation.
Right.
Yes.
Everything above and beyond that's a want. I just got to prioritize my wants based upon what? Your principles and values. What's important to you? If giving is important to you, show me your budget. I'll show you what's important to you.
Yeah.
Family? Okay. Maybe. Or maybe it's, I don't know, other things that are taking your attention and your money away from you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, Connor.
So that's that internal tug of war.
Here's my question, though, Connor. I grew up in a household where people are constantly robbing Peter to pay Paul, and so it looks as if the importance is, let me put food on the table, right?
Yeah.
Or my kids need sneakers, because they had the sneakers since a year and a half ago, and they finally, their toes are like a fist, in a sneaker, right? So how can I work my way out of that if I feel as though all these things are happening? Like, I'll give you an example, a perfect example. This morning, before we started the show, Kafa was washing clothes. She called me. She said, Maurice, take a look at this pipe. Right in the middle of the pipe is a pinhole where water is coming out.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So again, that's as I said to her in the past, it would have been a 4-alarm fire. I got to hurry up and get this thing fixed and all other type of stuff. But it changes or it challenges all the other stuff we got going on. Her transmission just went in her car, right? So it's like
the week before that, our daughter was in a
car accident.
Scratch and bend, car accident. So it's just like, hey, all these things are piling on.
Right.
At the tail end of the year, we're sitting down having family meetings. Like, what are we doing for the holiday? Are we going to go for a vacation? Are we going to just, do exchanging gifts? Like, what are we going to do? And it's like, plans start changing.
Right.
And as you're saying, we have our needs, we have our wants, but then there's this other part that happens. Life just happens.
Life,
right. Yeah. Life just happens. And a lot of times that part is not in our budget. So how do we deal with that, Connor?
Yeah. So the unforeseens, right?
Yes.
Got it. So you want to actually make that part of your budget.
Good.
If it's not there, be proactive versus reactive. What I'm hearing, reactive. Right? Let's be proactive. Life is going to happen.
Yeah.
You have to put aside some money for those things. Right? A separate, dedicated emergency fund.
Now, is that separate than a savings fund?
What an emergency is.
Yeah.
Right? It's unforeseen. It's needed, and it's needed now. We had a dishwasher break. Unforeseen. Is it needed? Yeah, I think it is.
Right.
Is it needed now? Yeah, is it needed now? No, it's not. Okay. We're going to put it off, save the money, cash.
Right.
So we have the cash for it in the future. I had the same thing happen, right? It was sports pictures. Laid out the budget ahead of time, proactive versus reactive, right? It was November, it was planning out December. Okay, right? Sports pictures. Didn't see that one coming. What do I do?
Yeah.
Right.
I got to shift some things around. The other thing too is I was always of the mentality you got to cut things in your life.
Right.
Right? Like restrictive. I got to stop going to Dunkin' Donuts or going to Home Goods as much as I am. How about there's another side of this equation? Let's spitball ideas to make more money.
Right.
Let's be abundant, not scarcity driven. Right? So yes, life does happen, but you want to have processes in place, habits and behaviors that support what really happens. Life is not linear. Budgets usually are nice columns, minuses and plus. That's not how life is. Life is messy.
Right.
Well, you have to at least account for that.
Good.
And, put a line item, life fund.
Right.
Yeah.
The fund.
Right.
Whatever you want to call it.
Fund.
The fund. Whatever you want to call it, but know that that's going to happen.
That's there.
Right.
Yeah.
So you made a statement about increasing your income, but Connor, it feels as though I'm already working double and triple time. I got the kids and things like that. So I feel like, right, quote unquote, I don't have the time or the energy to do that. So how can I increase my income if I'm already tired for what I'm doing already?
Let's get creative. You see all the stuff behind me? Yeah. A lot of that stuff is not necessary. I could, without even working, just put a sign up for sale
Yeah.
Right.
and still have that stuff and raise cash real quick. I'm talking to you on a computer.
Right.
There's ways in which I'm in front of these things all the time. There's ways in which I could figure out ways, side hustles to make money.
Right.
Right? If you're working 3 jobs, is it getting you the results you want?
Mm-hmm.
It's at will employment. If it's not, get a job that does. Create your own wealth. You're not captive to what,
Yes.
I used to have the victim mentality. I want to drive this bus. What do I need to do to get paid what I think I'm worth? And if it ain't, I'm going to create it for myself.
Right.
Right? I come up with a lot of creative ideas.
So, I mean, so when we think about that job, I'm just going to use that idea, what you just said about finding another job, right? Or place of employment, even, like you said, the stuff that's behind you.
Working for yourself.
How do we understand the value that we bring to that table in order to coincide with the amount of money we want to bring in? Because sometimes we don't believe in ourselves enough to understand our true value and what we're worth as far as a job. And I know we're not talking about job, finding a job, whatever.
Yeah,
but sometimes we don't understand that what our true value really is. So how do we find that belief in ourselves?
I tell my kids, people buy those things they need and what they want. And if you find something that people need and want, to supply and demand of what that is, you'll make money. The value I provide, it's creating wealth for others. It's value. Is there actual value in what it is I'm doing or providing to others? And if there is, the money will follow. Right? You also get creative with things, right? So not passive income, but low effort income ideas. Right?
Right.
You can look these things up online. They're on Instagram all the time. You start following these people with low effort stuff. Like I can go to prints.com, post pictures, people like that picture, and then I go to canvas.com, get it framed, and then ship it out for nothing. I didn't do anything.
Right.
I literally just opened up a store, got a picture, had it framed, someone ordered it, boom, it goes out. You can create coloring books with no effort with computers.
Yeah.
If you have kids, right? You do.
Right.
I do.
Yes.
Coloring books, right? People order these things. And
Right.
it's like, okay, this is great. Manual labor is tough. I want to do something different. How can I create that for myself? Yeah, you got to put a little effort in front, but then you sit back and collect money on it. So to your point, if you're struggling, you don't have enough time to do the things you want to do, maybe it's time to look at the things you're doing.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Yeah. Good. Budget your time as well.
Yeah, time. Exactly. I got 2 kids. You probably see them running in the background. I'm basketball, football, gymnastics, taekwondo, school nights.
Well,
running a business.
Yeah, our kids are now 21 and 23, so we've kind of passed some of that, but not really. They went away to college and came back home. So they, we still have to tote them around a little bit.
Just a little. A little.
A little bit.
So that part never ends.
It doesn't end. So,
So I hear you where you're talking about understanding our value, and understanding what is needed versus what isn't. But I know I've had family members, because you talked about, maybe having a yard sale or a Facebook marketplace or something like that. But I really feel as though that this old credenza is worth some money. I think it's a family heirloom, right? Or whatever. But sometimes even with that, because in doing that, my grandmother, she invested some money, right, to get things appraised, and she felt as though she lost a lot of money. So even when you think that you're trying to do an investment, you're holding on to things or whatever it is, sometimes we hold on to things also too long.
Right. Yeah. I equate that to this scarcity versus abundance mindset, right? Because I used to say to myself, I have clients also, I can't afford this. Add the word yet.
Right.
It opens up the mindset to, okay. And also, what's the value of it holding on to it? It's collecting dust.
Right.
If I did liquidate it for, let's say it's worth $800 in your head and you only get $300 for it, it's still $300 towards a debt that's costing you 26% a month.
Wow. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're actually in essence getting $300 working at 26% guaranteed. It's guaranteed. I pay it off. It's 26% less interest. Right? There's emotional and then there's numbers. Those two things don't mix. Right? If I'm holding on to something for sentimental reasons, i.e. the pictures or what, whatever it is, okay. What is that? What value is that providing to you? Is that in line with your principles and values and what you really want?
Yeah.
Or do you want to expand and try new experiences and open up possibilities? Because if we're stuck, we're stuck.
Right.
I can't change that for you. You have to change that from within yourself and maybe change the perspective of how you're looking at things. That makes sense.
And that's good, because as we are ending this year off, 2024, and moving into 2025, we need to have a different perspective on life. And a lot of us are thinking about New Year's resolutions, and this year I'm going to become debt free. And I was reading through your website and I was like, oh wow, this guy's done it in 15 months. So like, this is my year. I'm going to do it. So, what tips do you have for me or for others that are listening on, yes, I'm going to set some resolutions. I'm going to set a plan to become debt free. Like, so what what are the first steps? What are the first things I need to look at?
So I go take people through 3 steps: refocus, gain control, and set a plan. Set a plan is the last step. Let's just use my resolution, right? My New Year's, I hate resolutions.
I know that's right.
Most of them, right? But let's say I want to lose 15 pounds. That's not going to do it.
Okay.
Right.
Is it?
No.
The people that stick with the gym and actually change habits and behaviors long term, if you surveyed them, they have a very vivid and clear why. The reason why they're doing it, and they can articulate it to you pretty succinctly. And you'll get behind it. You're like, wow, that's pretty powerful. That's awesome. You actually start supporting them.
Okay.
I want to get out of debt. That's not what you want. What is it preventing you from doing?
Right.
What is it preventing you from feeling? How long have you felt like this? Who else is dependent upon this change or this lifestyle change for you? What is at stake if you don't change it? Got to go down a couple layers.
Yeah.
So I've had clients, same thing. I'm working 2 jobs and I'm missing my kids' football games. Why is that important to you? Well, family is one of my top, principles. I feel like I'm violating that. Now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah, it's deep.
Right? You got to take it down a couple layers deep. And that's the motivation, the rocket fuel for what's going to change your habit and behavior, not just short term, but long term.
Right.
And that pain you go through is the reason why you're not going to revert back to it. Right. I say this a lot to a lot of my clients. I'm a righty. I brush my teeth with my right hand. You can come along and say, listen, you're going to start brushing your teeth with your left hand. Okay. It's awkward. It's uncomfortable. Right. I can do it. I'm not going to do it for long because I want to revert back to what's comfortable and the way I do it, the way I know it. I've known how to brush my teeth since I've been brushing my teeth.
Right.
Same thing with money.
Yeah.
Same thing with anything. The longer you go in ingraining that habit and behavior, the harder it is to break.
Right.
But if I have a really good reason, I don't want to die of diabetes like my uncle. I want to have more energy for my kids. I want to show up. I want to have clarity of my mind, and I want to live longer. I want to experience life. Now we're getting somewhere.
Right.
Chances are, talk to me March 25th, you're still going to the gym.
Exactly.
And revisit that motivation throughout that journey. It changes. Now you have aspirations for other goals. Showing up is no big deal anymore because you've been showing up. You've already lost the 15 pounds. Now it's like, you know what? I want to have a personal record for running a mile.
Right.
I want to be able to do 50 push-ups in a row. I want to be better than my old self. The guy that walked in the gym, I ain't that guy no more. Now I got to challenge a new person. What is it?
Right.
But you got to meet people where they're at. Right now, they're overwhelmed, stressed, and don't have much hope. Like I did that. I did the budget. Okay, it's just a tool. If it was as easy as a tool, there's an app for that. It's not. Right? It's not.
You got to do the work.
It's the habits and behaviors. You have the habits and behaviors aligned with the tool and the reason why you're doing it. Now you're going to get somewhere. And what else do you need? You need some support and accountability. Accountability and follow through. If I have a gym partner,
yes,
I'm held accountable to, and I understand their why, and I shared my why with them.
Right.
They know why it's important to me, and they're going to hold up that mirror. I want to get out of debt. I want to make more. Okay. Why is that important to you? Get real. And when you start complaining, I don't want to do it. Is this still important to you?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Why? Tell me it. Now, go get the running shoes and let's go meet you at the gym.
Right. Right.
That's how it works.
Nice.
That's why they don't teach. I mean, people struggle and stuff like that all the time. You're not alone.
Nice. So you know, Connor, thank you for coming on the show. We have some people who are challenged with looking at the man in the mirror, right? And so where can they reach out to you where you can help them look at themselves, where they can find their why? Because a lot of times we don't understand the why. Again, as you heard my question earlier, sometimes that our first example is not always the greatest. So now we need to change that, our why. We need to change what the image is and whatever it is. You know, generational is, some of that stuff is also generational.
Oh yeah.
You know, so where can they reach out to you to get more information and talk to you through their challenges?
Yep. So all your listeners here, if you go to my website, www.progress, you want to make some progress, Progress FC. FC stands for financial coaching. ProgressFC.com. You'll see up there, everybody gets a free 45-minute consultation. It's called a win with money situation. That's it. We talk, no obligation, no cost. What is it you want to change? Why do you want to change it? This is how you can change it. I don't take on everybody because I got to hear their why. I don't push ropes. You want to change this area in your life and maybe transform your whole family tree. Let's do it. I'll become your biggest cheerleader. I'll stand behind you and make sure you get to the top of that mountain. I'll hold you accountable to that. That's fine. Give you the tools and resources to gain the control part of it.
Right.
But the best way to reach me is that website. There's a phone number, there's email, and just get on my calendar and we'll talk. It's no big deal.
Nice. We appreciate that. We appreciate that a lot. So,
yeah.
You know, so here's the thing, Connor. We have one last question for you before we let you go.
One last question. Okay.
One last question. So here's the question, Connor. If you could sing a duet with anyone, with anyone in the world, both dead or are either dead or alive, who would that individual be, or group? But who would you sing? Yeah.
Yes. Who would you sing a duet with?
Ooh, this is a good one. I can go anywhere in the history. This is a good one. I get this one every day. I'm going to go with It's a Wonderful Life with Frank Sinatra.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, is there a particular reason why with
He's got a silky smooth voice. I would love to be on stage with old blue eyes. I think that would be the awesome. I would sound like complete horrible, but just to get that aura around me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think that'd be an awesome. And then I could tell everybody after, yeah, I sang with.
I know, right? You get more clients too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know,
That's
so.
good.
But
That's
yeah,
good.
but no, we appreciate you coming on the show today.
Definitely, yes. Thank you so
for
much.
having me and giving me the platform to help people.
Oh, sure, no problem. And you know, thank you very much for listening to the No Fruit podcast. All the information that Connor shared today will be in the show notes, and we will talk to you a little later.
Thanks. Bye.
This week's episode has come to an end, but the fun doesn't have to stop here. If you have any questions, suggestions, or feedback, head over right now to Twitter and Facebook and like, share, and get involved. Join us next time.